run through the switching stuff.
So we're just having a quick chat out the back there. So Sam and Will had one yesterday. They were in a paddock with a bull. So just touch on that. Just obviously check before you enter paddocks and stuff like that, especially if you're switching. And the field client one, I know people are still having issues with that. They are tending to it now. It's been raised as much as possible on Teams, and I think Andrew Green, the subject matter expert dude that came here and rolled out all the field client stuff, he's dealing with Schneider at the moment. It's a Schneider issue. So they've got tablets that have pre-update and post-update, and they're all having the same field client issue where you go to scroll and it just keeps spiraling out of control and up and down. So they did have a temporary fix. There's a little bar on the right-hand side of field client when you open it up. It's a little bit more forgiving with the swiping up and down and scrolling. So that's the best that they can hand out at the moment in terms of temporary fixes or band-aids to the problem. But they are dealing with it, and they'll keep you guys as updated as possible. So what have you got? This one?
Yeah, that's good. Just to touch on the switching incidents since our last meeting, so we're at 34 days. Obviously everyone knows previous best was 869. Got a DS incident near miss hazards. So this one was an emu on the road. This one was sent in by Sam. So report was while driving between Cow and Whyalla.
Ooh, that's
yeah, there was an emu on the road between Cow and Whyalla. Noticed it with enough time to avoid an accident, slowed down and passed the emu safely. So good work, Sam. Unlike your boss who wiped out pelicans. Alright, we got a couple of safety alerts and events. So this one's a safety bulletin, and that one, Reese has got that one.
yeah, just a loss of load while transporting some drums. So subcontractor's truck was loaded with 2 plastic cable drums at the Angle Park warehouse. It was then driven to a subcontractor's premises overnight in readiness for delivery the next day. A different driver was used for the delivery the next morning. During the trip, the driver noticed the load binder had lost tension. The driver stopped to resecure the load binder and continued to the destination. On arrival, the store person discovered that one of the cable drums was not present on the truck. So it's been tied down with the green straps, and then they've chucked the blue strap ratchet over the top, only on one of the drums, I believe, and the other one has become loose and slid off the other drum, and is probably a Paramount Browns by now. So with the transport of these things, I would probably not rely on the green strapping. It is plastic, especially if you're going long distance. So throw a blue ratchet 2.5 tonne or 2.2 tonne over the top of it when you're travelling. That's it.
Thanks, Reese. And this one is Nick.
Alright, personal protective clothing. So, bit wordy, but I don't want to miss anything out of this. So, the proposed long pants, long sleeves policy for personal protective clothing has been endorsed by the executive leadership team. So, the purpose of the proposal was to improve safety by reducing sun exposure and the risk of other injuries. Also brings us in line with all other DNSPs in Australia and Safe Work Guidelines. So the commencement of this transition to long policy is expected to be the 1st of December to ensure coordination, implementation and to manage the supply and fitting of the new PPC. New clothing will be provided in a staggered manner across the work groups until October 2024. Approval of the long policy follows a 6-week consultation period held in parallel with a trial of fire-rated PPC to replace the current shorts, short sleeves and overall combination used by electrical workers. It's acknowledged that this is a significant change for people as you may have been wearing your shorts for many years. Feedback was important and has been genuinely considered in the decision. So we have provided comprehensive responses to the questions posed during the consultation period on the hub. We thank everyone who provided feedback on both the proposal to move to long longs for field work and also on the trial clothing. For clarity, the new PPC requirements, including when it must be worn, will be communicated in a revised clothing directive, which will be released shortly. Further, a series of scenario-based frequently asked questions will be available for leaders in the near future. To assist with the preparation of this, leaders and their work groups are encouraged to submit scenario-based questions to the email below, or please come see one of your leaders if you've got a question, by close of business Tuesday 7th of November. The long non-flame retardant personal protective clothing for non-electrical workers will remain unchanged, and decisions with the contractors on the new policy will commence shortly. So some key points. So SA Power Networks and Enervan has endorsed a long policy. Fire-rated clothing sizing kits are currently being prepared and will be distributed shortly. Transition period will commence 1st of December 23 and conclude 31st of October 24, if not before. Once electrical workers receive the fire retardant clothing range, they are required to wear it. Workers who do not perform electrical work are also required to wear non-flame retardant longs clothing once their additional non-flame retardant garments have been ordered and supplied. Limited numbers of current short-sleeved high-vis shirts, high-vis polos and shorts will be available on work group leader approval prior to phasing out. This will assist in cases where workers require replacement items before receiving the new PPC. Workers are expected to wear business-provided PPC during paid hours. Overalls will remain an option to wear. Further updates will be provided as necessary. That's it.
I know a little bit about this, so if there's any questions anyone wants to throw at me, go for it. I might not be able to answer them all, but I'll do my best. But like Nick said, if we can't, we'll put that question in to be added to the frequently asked questions list. But does anyone have anything they want to ask about it?
Maybe the transition, the boys aren't used to it. Hot weather coming up, maybe issue a couple of camel packs. That way the boys, you know, at least they got some cold water and ice in their camel pack for working and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. That's the water bottles in the back, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
There should be an inclement weather policy as well. So
We do have a hot weather policy.
Yeah, but it probably needs to be reviewed now.
That question's been asked multiple times, so you might not have seen, but they've reviewed it and they believe it's still suitable. Exactly, bunch. If you've got issues with it, let us know.
I'm bringing it up now.
Yeah, just let us know what the actual issues are though.
What do you mean?
What's the issue? Just, yeah, let me know what the issues are with it so we can
Alright.
give that
No
to
worries.
just say it's not suitable without saying why. It's a fair point. If you've got a problem with it, we just need to talk about it.
Other places I've worked previously had the long policies, there's no dramas there, but they had 35 degrees, you had to work in shade, 37 you go home. Obviously that's not going to happen here, because 37 proper
Yeah.
users.
Like I said,
but
they
I
have
guess that
reviewed
might be what
it,
you
but
do.
if you've got some specific like that, I can take it to. I believe that question's already been taken to during the consultation period. That it hasn't been raised and answered. I'll find the proper answer on the hub for you and I can share it. But if you do have anything further, certainly we'll go back. But they believe it's suitable.
If guys are opting to just wear overalls instead of these long pants and shirts, do we get more than 2 pairs a year, or considering like, we're going to be wearing them every day?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. No, don't see a problem with that, Shane. If you decide to wear overalls every day, you're going to need pretty much the amount that you would get in pants and shirts, in my opinion.
Because it comes in December 1st and it's like a staggered rollout over till like October next year, in the interim, do we have to wear longs with overalls now?
So in the interim, I believe it was touched on a little bit. You can wear what you've got until you're supplied with enough. So once you get your FR gear, you have enough to get rid of your shorts and your shirts. At the moment, obviously people have got short pants and long sleeves with most people, but it might not be enough to get them through. So it's not until you actually supplied your gear that you have to wear it. The staggered approach is still getting worked through, but I believe Enervan's going to have their own kit, and it'll just go around depots, be there for a week. Like it's got a size of every garment they're supplying, and we can try them on because I think the sizes are a little bit different, so we don't rely on the size that we currently got. It's going to be fun organising that for the whole whole business.
The date that Nick read out for feedback was yesterday.
What was that one?
So,
That the
yeah.
consultation period's closed, but they're still taking on questions. But what they want is it to go through leaders, because the leaders will have access to the frequently asked question list, and they'll be able to either answer it, and if it's not, they'll be able to add it to that, and then because other people might have the same question. It is quite a long list. I think it's 3 or 4 pages, so most questions are hopefully answered, but I'm sure there'll be more.
Those frequently, they're accessible in the hub, correct?
They are on the hub. There's a new one that we've just started. I know it's going to go on the hub. I'm not sure it's on there yet, but a lot of them are double up. But these are just purely around implementation rather than the clothes themselves.
Obviously, they've got something about care for them, like how to wash them properly. And
I believe that'll come with the clothes. Depending what you get, I think they're different. But it should be on the label.
It would get measured up for overalls and that, because these days we get overalls and they're always too long in your legs, or they're always not right. Like off.
So that's always an option. It's like some people do need custom fit stuff.
I haven't had a pair that fit me properly since I've been here.
Yeah, okay.
All the bottoms will wear out. I'm walking on them. I have to cut them off.
Have you tried on the side?
Yeah, I've tried a couple.
Yeah, okay.
There's
So
another one
first
there
option
that
we do
try.
try all the sizes that we've got. There's not one suitable, but you can get custom fit stuff. Just have a chat
I
to
only sort of get to try what Julia's got here at the time.
Yeah, okay. So there might be something missing
It probably is. I just haven't come across the right ones.
Have a chat with me after, because Southend's only just down the road, and you can just drop in there and try stuff on. You got time?
If we're travelling like between jobs in the morning and afternoon, can we wear a t-shirt instead of the long sleeve top?
No.
If it's still a high vis.
No, unfortunately not.
I think with the hot weather policy that Ra's talking about, that's going to be the biggest concern for everyone. Is like you get in your overalls for a bit, you get out of your overalls and you cool off, you're just stuck longs all day, no matter what the temperatures.
I know, and I'm not sure if you guys have spoken to Nick, because he's obviously been trying the stuff. It is a lot thinner than the stuff we've got now, and it's meant to be reasonable. Other network providers have been wearing it for, Essential Energy's bought this in 15 years ago, and but it's one of the biggest, and obviously because everyone's so used to wearing short sleeves and shorts, I get it.
And Cam, is there a chance?
Sorry, did that answer your question, Emily? The answer is no. It's from start of your shift to end of the shift. You're obviously not getting paid for your lunchtime. The business recommends you wear them during your lunchtime, but we don't force anything during your lunchtime.
Hey Cam, is there a chance we can actually get like orange and grey instead, rather than orange and blue? Because I know with blue, the sun tracks the heat a lot more. Can we get like lighter colours?
Don't believe so. No, I don't think so. Pretty sure. I can check. I'm not sure if any of that's available. So it's another thing I have to double check.
Obviously everyone agree like wearing grey's better than blue, especially on a hot day.
I reckon that was might have been asked. I'll have to check. But I don't believe the range they've got at the moment's got anything grey in it. I reckon there might be an issue with getting that fabric, to be honest. I reckon that's why the overalls changed. I don't know. Has it been slow? Yeah.
Email. Send her an email.
Anything else before we move on? Please come and see me about those other questions so we can, anything I haven't answered, just come and see me after and we'll borrow.
Alright, just got a couple of things and then Cam's going to kick into some other stuff. So, it's been noticed down on site by our new operations supervisor that people aren't wearing the correct PPE when they're working, so like hearing protection, glasses, things like that. Just ensure, if you whatever the tasks that you're doing at the time, make sure you've got the correct PPE on that protects you for the tasks that you're doing at that point in time. So safety glasses for drilling, hearing protection if you're jackhammering, things like that. I don't know if there was anything else in that was sort of mentioned.
No, just the appropriate gloves if you're using stuff that you have potential for cutting yourself, etc. So
yeah, I think it's been pretty good. I've been out on site a bit the start of this week and
it's just across the business pretty
yeah.
much. So he's noticing, so it's just mentioned to everyone. So
yeah,
it may not be us as such.
So that means we need to get more earplugs and things like that to have on hand, or get everyone to have in the trucks, and make sure your glasses are all not scratched up and suitable to be worn.
And cut gloves, if we need cut gloves, I believe Julia's got some in her little warehouse
Yep.
as well.
So yeah, come and see your leaders if you need that equipment. The other one was just for crews that are having early starts, and you might not have everyone that's usually on that truck. Just make sure that you're taking the person that's missing, taking their gear off the truck and leaving it somewhere safe. Just so we've had a couple of incidents where trucks have started early. Someone that's usually on that truck wasn't in for the early start, and the truck's gone and their gear's still on that truck. So it just creates a bit of an issue. We got people walking around without their overalls and all that sort of stuff and their tools because the truck's left early. And obviously try and take it off yourself if you know, but yeah, help each other out. And if that person's not on the truck, just take their gear bag off and put it somewhere safe for them, and maybe let them know as well where it is. Alright? That's all I had. Pass over to Cam.
I've got a couple of little things. Start with just sort of talking about stuff out on site. So if you're a leader out on site, and I throw out the group, what do you do if someone turns up to your site, and it could be Joe Blow on the street, or it could be Richard Amato, Andrew Bills? There's two things that you can do, in my opinion.
Get them to sign on and go through the JSA with them and whatnot.
Yep.
Make sure they're wearing the correct PPE.
Yep, good one. So get them sign on. Well, I'm glad you elaborated on it, because definitely make sure you don't just throw the folder at someone like that, like if they just sign on with this. Make sure you do run over JSA. Make them aware of the hazards and tell them where to stand or where not to stand. But another thing that you can do, and we're all busy, is just say, go wait over there next to that tree outside of the site until I'm ready for you. So just because someone might be, like Richard Amato, he'd actually respect that if you told him that, if you're busy. Like, he wants us to get our job done too. So don't be afraid to do something like that. But when you get the time, definitely run over JSA, get them sign on. The skip feedback, fired around a few emails last week, and the communication around it wasn't great. Any of them didn't even get the email, it was in the bulletin. So I just want to make sure everyone's clear on how it works. Hopefully you've read my emails, but if you haven't, the skip feedback's there to give feedback on your leader. It goes to their direct leader. Now, unfortunately for us, it's for all you guys basically, most of you, it's going to be feedback on Renzi, and it's going to go to me. I think it's silly. I think it should be my role as it was, because it's only 3 months of comment. I did try and change it, but they wouldn't. So just make sure, I just want to make sure everyone knows who they're giving feedback on, because I don't think it's clear in the thing, and if you're going to give it something on me, it's going to come to me. So make sure, you know how that works. And for Leanne and Julia, it'll be feedback on me going to Matt Park at the moment. So they couldn't change that. So if anyone's got any questions or issues around that, please come and see me, and I'll happily talk you through it. So the culture survey, so I said we're going to bring up a topic every week leading up to it. So the first one was leadership. So to start to have a think about leadership over the next few weeks, and if you've got some time, if you think of something that we could do better or something that we're doing well, just jot it down, make a note, because like we're all aware, we're going to get together on November the 30th. So I just want everyone to be as prepared as they can. Everyone doesn't have to think all badly about this either. Like, these were the areas we scored the lowest in, but there was some people that said we did well, and there was a lot of people in the neutral zone. So, if you're one of those people that scored well, come with what you thought we do good, and we can talk about that too. So, in the next 3 weeks we'll talk on the other 3, and then it'll be November 30th by then. So, that was the question.
Alright. That's pretty much it. I'll just send it around the group. Has anyone got anything they want to bring up or let us know about?
We're doing a breakup day, safety day, and pub session.
Still being worked through, but we're still having our safety meeting on the last day. We'll give you more information on that later. It won't be like last year, because or the previous years, because the business supplied one, like we've talked about, it's going to be the bowling on November the 30th. More information to come, how that day is going to pan out. So we're still in the depot for the day.
Just on that, Cam, what's the bowling one? Are we looking at getting transport in there, or we've had a bit of a look around that area. It's not great for parking. There's obviously going to be a lot of additional people.
I thought Renzi sent out an email about his parking spot for the children, so I'm not sure. I'll look into it.
It's a big area. It's like basically on the edge of
Yeah, no, I understand that, but there's bowls published into the car park.
Yeah, it's
So
just
no.
not to satisfy the whole event.
No, definitely not. It won't definitely cater for, because we went there as a smaller group and it was not that many car parks. So not that everyone, if you're driving, if you're
And
drinking.
just as well, I think just for everyone, just as a bit sort of says the business that it's pretty disappointing that it's on a Thursday and in the afternoon when the guys have got to work the next day. I think that's pretty poor.
That's been made loud and clear. Yeah, all those things were loud and clear. I don't think anyone's happy with it, myself included. I would have preferred, you know, I think it's good that everyone's getting together, but yeah, it was the decision was made too late. They did want to have it on a Friday, but they couldn't get anything because of, you know, it all come around because of the culture survey, and there was a lot in there about them breaking down silos and getting teams together. That was the idea behind it. And if they're going to do it again next year, they'll organise it a lot earlier, and it will be on, you know, a Friday. And yeah, communication will be a lot sooner. So, yep.
Pretty much. Yeah, should be back to next year, I think.
Two quick things and that's it for me. So I forgot to touch on it in the switching thing. There are liquid fuse canisters if anyone needs any. There are some out in the stores area that Damien ordered in. And just for those that were out on Frederick, thank you heaps on that. And just on that as well, we had that guy come through the job site, spit in the traffic controller's face and get quite physical.
Oi.
I wouldn't have dealt with that quite well. I would have frozen up quite a bit. So if that happens to anyone on site, just make sure you raise it straight away and escalate it as quick as possible, because I wouldn't have.
That been cool?
I didn't hate it.
I was going to do one on.
Yeah. Just make sure you do that to that end.
See, I wouldn't have dealt with that too well. I would have been pretty frozen up at that point, letting someone spit in my face and get quite physical. So, yeah, just
As well, on that as well, like, make sure you've got the traffic controllers backs, like they are out there for us and they are working for us. I did go down and talk to him, so did Dan, and basically helped him out a bit, because we could all see what was going on from a distance, and it was pretty piss poor on the person from the public, to be honest. It was, yeah, disgusting. So, yeah,
band together and have.
if you do see that stuff going on, don't stand back, just head down there and give them support, because yeah, they obviously deal with a fair bit of that shit every day, so, and they are working for us, so it'd be good to just show them the same support we give our own guys, so.
Just before we go, does anyone have any questions to skip through that? I did make a note that I was going to ask everyone that, because I think there was a bit of confusion around it. I just want to, if you do, from here, don't be afraid to pick up the phone, let me know. Yeah.
We've got something. So Social Club Christmas show, which will be going off like a rocket, down the bay, next door to the pier. What's the restaurant called again? Starts with C anyway. Lunchtime Saturday, the 9th of December. 4-hour drinks package. I think it's 2 or 3 course feed.
Yep.
And next door to the pier afterwards. So we'll send out a flyer by Friday afternoon, and probably half price for social club members and full price for non-social, something like that.
Yep.
Details will be in the flyer. So lock that day away. And probably the Sunday too. Don't want any Sunday. That's it for me.
And lastly, I'd just like to do a positive recognition for the people who worked out on St. Peter's on Friday. Dan, Em, Chris, Neil, were you out there? Yeah, you all done a good job. Everyone was happy. Boris was happy. Yeah, and we didn't get abused by the public, so that's a bonus too. So thanks, guys.
Alright, have a safe day. Yeah.